Welcome back to VTK Photography. Sony has finally announced the successor to its A7S series, the A7S III. This is only a preview video. I hope I get to test this camera sometime in the future. A7S III is a full-frame mirrorless camera sporting a 12.1 megapixel backside illuminated sensors. So usually the BSI sensors are really good for low light performance and also faster readouts. The camera also has a brand new Bionz XR processor which is claimed to be at least 8 times faster than the current processor. Photography-wise, the camera can shoot up to 10 photos a second, 10 raw photos a second, and it can also do it with auto exposure and autofocus tracking. The camera can also shoot in 10-bit HEIF files, HEIF files with various color compressions of 420 or 422 color compressions. So 10-bit files are a good balance between JPEG and RAW files. If you can't afford to shoot RAW all the time, maybe you can choose to shoot HEIF files and retain some extra color information for better grading in post-production. HEIF files are certainly better than JPEG images. That's about it in photography. When it comes to videography, the S series really shines all the time. So the A7S series are predominantly videography-centric cameras. So let's see what this camera has to offer, because we have waited like 5 years for this camera, so it has to be worthwhile, right? So let's find out. The maximum video resolution on this camera is 4K and it can shoot up to 120p with full frame readout, no pixel binning, nothing of the sort. But there is a 10% crop in 120p though. In full HD it can shoot up to 240 fps. Fantastic, and no crop at all. A7S III can shoot 10-bit 422 compression internally, no matter what resolution or what frame rate you choose. Even if it's like 4K, 120 fps and pushing it to the maximum, you can still shoot 10-bit 422 internally. Absolutely fantastic. Apparently the rolling shutter is extremely controlled thanks to the new processor. Make no mistake, there will be rolling shutter, but if it is below the threshold, I'll be pretty happy. Somehow Sony managed to keep the camera from overheating while recording in high frame rate and resolution, even during prolonged recordings. That's quite impressive. And finally, we get the fully articulating touchscreen. And when I say touchscreen, it is a fully functional touchscreen as well. Fantastic, because we have been waiting for this for a really long time. With this touchscreen, you can navigate the menus, you can choose whatever you want to do, you can navigate the photos, you can use it for autofocus selection points and all those stuff. So absolutely fantastic. You can use the touchscreen for anything that you want to do. Sony has finally revamped their menu system, which was previously mostly annoying. I look forward to using this new menu system and I hope they give us a firmware update to our existing cameras as well. The camera can shoot in various compressions. The XAVC HD is for Full HD, XAVC 4K is for 4K obviously. Now comes two new codecs called the XAVC HS, which is twice as efficient with a lower bitrate, and an XAVC SI, which is a much thicker codec that stores every frame information in the video separately. So the file size will be massive. This is where we get to about 600 megabits per second, not megabytes, 600 megabits per second, and you will definitely need a CF Express A card to record that. And when talking about cards, we have two card slots, dual card slots. Okay, brilliant. But the most brilliant part of it is you can use both card slots for both card formats. That means you can insert the SD card anywhere you want. So both card slots are compatible with CF Express and SD card. So I think you can have two CF Express cards at the same time running inside the camera, two SD cards at the same time, one CF Express, one SD card, and SD card is UHS 2 compatible as well. It's not like one card slot is dedicated to CF Express and one card slot is dedicated to SD card. That's awesome. This is the first time I'm seeing something like this. Electronic viewfinder provides a 90% magnification with a 41-degree field of view. Must be quite nice to use it, and it is claimed to be the highest resolution EVF out there. When it comes to dynamic range, we get about 15 stops. That's what Sony claims. So 15 stops, I'm not sure how many stops is meaningful over there. So even if I get like 13 stops of meaningful dynamic range, I'll be totally happy about it. That's a really welcome move. So I would like to have at least a 13 stop usable dynamic range. That's all I need. I'll be happy with that. The ISO can range up to 409,600. Of course, no one's going to shoot at that high ISOs, but if you want to get the shot done, you can even push the camera to maybe 100,000 ISO, and you still have a usable image, because Sony A7S series cameras are brilliant, absolutely brilliant in low light capabilities. And I think this camera is no exception. A7S III is going to be a low light monster, period. The camera has 759 phase detection autofocus points and 435 contrast detection autofocus points, covering up to 90% of the field of view. I've always felt Sony AF system is too fast to be cinematic. The rack focusing especially is way above normal speed. The camera offers much more flexibility in AF speeds. I hope I find the sweet spot here. And then comes the usual stuff, you have got human eye tracking, animal eye tracking right out of the box. So this is so common in any Sony camera, so it's nothing significant to say that. And also this camera supports an in-body image stabilization, and I really hope there is some improvement in IBIS, because Sony cameras usually are not the best in IBIS. So I hope there is something better in this camera, and let's wait to test it out. The camera can shoot HLG and S-Log3 in 10-bit. The base ISO for S-Log3 is 640. And this camera can transmit your data, or you can control the camera over Wi-Fi. The camera weighs about 615 grams. So that's about it. These are all the information that I've got for the Sony A7S III. I hope this video was useful to you in some way, and let me know in the comments if you are going to pre-order one. Okay, I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.